ready? The boys say, welcome back. We're gonna Bez Hashem Tziyata D'Shmaya. We mechazuk each other weiter. And really tonight we want to discuss with Tziyata D'Shmaya Hashem Sosativtach was weiter the Indian of Shavovim. We can't forget that it's Shavovim as it's extending and it's getting deeper into the gewaldige Yemei Shavovim. It's not that, the first few weeks, Shvoyis, Vahir, Boy, B'Shalach, okay, I think I already was Masak and everything I needed to be Masak. Yes, I enough, Genik, Chas V'Sholom, Chas V'Sholom, Chas V'Sholom. Every day of, every minute of Shavovim is another opportunity to, first of all, mend our ways, because as we've already discussed at length, the definite tshuva on all of these sins is really a life's work, tremendous avodah. And Mechlal, there's enough from this Gilgul, we got to clean up yet messes from previous Gilgulim. V'chaina, every day with its challenges, so we can't get Chas v'Chalila tired out from the English Shavim. But now we're still in the tikkun process of different avodas that we could do, and we can be makabel on ourselves now during these heilige moments, these heilige days of Shavim. So today I'd like to focus with Tziyata D'Shmaya and the Gewisse on a certain very important aspect of Avodas Hashem, which is important all year, and it's just as important also in the Heilige Shavim Chavir, because, you hear this, Rabbi Isaac? Because this is a big ticket on these inyanim. We're going to explain how, we're going to explain why. You guys got this? Listen. We'll start with the Ma'ariv Shemesh, a few pieces, different places. And the Heilige Ma'ariv Shemesh discusses this in our parsha on the pasuk of Vaharsina Yashim Kulay Mipnei Asher Yored Hashevel Be'esh V'Yalo Shonei Ka'asher Makivsha. And Toich Dvarav in the Shtickle, he brings out a very important nekuda, which is the topic of today's shir, and that is the avodah of tefillah bis lahavos bikoyach. Davening for real, becoming a real davener. What's a real davener? What's a fake davener? So avodah every single tefillah is important. Chas v'Chalila, to say that a yid's tefillah is not important, Hashem Yerachim, oy. Every single yid's tefillah is so important. Every yid's tefillah, every tefillah that yid asks is tremendous. But, of course, everyone will agree, as in everything in life, the more effort, the more effect. If a person learns to daven for real, so then besides the nekuda that his avoid, his tefillah will poil so much more, so much greater, besides all of that, is another aspect, and that has to do with the fire of how a yid davens. And the nekuda says the Heilige Ma'ariv Shemesh, he's talking about the Indian of a carbon, that the carbonos have different aspects to the carbonos. There's the actual carbon, which is brought on the Mizbeach. There's the Ashan that rises when the carbon is brought on the fire. There's the white of the fire. There's the red part of the fire. All of these different aspects in the nekudas are very important. The lavan, the white smoke, is mechaper on the chet, which is that mimus, the redness, the gavuris, the dinim. And he goes on to explain the nekuda of the carbon. A person has to, when he sees his carbon being burnt, first of all, from the beginning, from the shchita, from the smicha, he has to have a mind that he has to have a mind that this carbon is supposed to be me. If I was choytech, and I'm doing tshuva, I'm bringing the carbon based on Mikdash, I have to imagine myself being that carbon that they're shechting and that they're doing avshota and bringing onto the carbon and putting them into the fire and burning them up, Kol Hashem. I have to think, oh, wait, really, that should be me, according to my behaviors, according to what I've done. And it's supposed to be the Sayer, the fellow to big tshuva. Imagine, you see them coin you, the Eivish such a Chamanis, and says, bring a nice carbon. Whereas that's to be my really, I'm ready to be shocked if you like Yitzchak on that Keda. I'm ready, mamish, to burn for you in the fire because of everything I've done. And it's a big assurance for a person to correct his ways and start using this lahavas. You see the way the fat's burning in the fire on the Beis Hamikdash, that the person in himself, his own nefesh Bahami, should be burning in avoid instead of running chas v'chalila to taivas and other yitzhar activities. The goof of a person together with the soul of a person should be kuloi rishpei shalhavas eish, kuloi, huge flames of fire to the Eibishter. And he says like this today. Now we know that Avodas Tefillah is b'makom the carbon. When a yid is zoiche to daven b'slahavas, a real fiery davening, not a cold davening. Come inside, you just do your thing, you walk out, no sweat. There was one time a yid that I knew. He said that if you didn't sweat by davening, then you didn't daven. And he didn't mean coming out of a hot mikvah drenched already and putting on your tefillin and davening like that. He meant coming to davening and metoich avodas tefillah avodah shebelev. It's avodah the heart. The person, it's an avodah, just like when a person's working. Yeah, you have heimish schleppers. You're working. How'd you schwitz? If you're not schwitzing, you come catch your workers not schwitzing. You have to be choshev. Maybe they're not working too hard. Yeah, you come inside and see guys working hard, you're schwitzing. He has to know that an avodas Hashem, an avodas Hashem, avodah, eizu avodah shebelev, zeu tefillah. It's a work, it's an arbit that the person is davening, he's trying to come to dveikus, he's trying to come to his lahavas. You got to schwitz, buckets, it's an oivet. You have to be zoichet to that. But what goes on b'shas ma'aseh when he eats mamish davening with a warmth, with a varmkeit, that means his heart's on fire. It means there's a gewisse chamimus halev. There's a warmth going on in the heart, a fire that's burning in the heart of the Eibishter. That burning of the heart is mamish like hagolas kelim, just like chas v'chalila. If a person did an aveira b'is lahavas, or whatever chamimus halev you have b'shas and aveira, so now I have to kasher my heart. Just like if I took a kli, just like if I took a kli, yeah, chas v'chalila basar v'chalav, you hear this? Chas v'chalila, I took a kli basar v'chalav. I mixed up, I put into my soup pot, some hot milk, yeah? Now what I got to do, I got to torch it down. I have to make agalos scale. I have to make limun.
We want to offer that service.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a mamish fascinating. I got to do limun. Bavis, yeah? It's a very good idea. But the mitzvah, so the same thing is my heart. If I messed up in the kashrus of my heart, I'm not my mistake, chas v'chalila. My heart, which is a kli, it's supposed to be the Eibishter. I mixed it up and I put in there non-kosher items, and now I got to make libun. How do I make libun? That's with the chamimus atfila. That's the chamimus. I got to get my heart all warmed up to boiling point that it'll be kasher, because I have to now the chamimus halev to the Eibishter. Oh, my heart was in the wrong place. I had chamimus for the wrong ideas. Now I let my heart burn for you. Oh, when I daven now, I'll tiftach with the divan, and I'm davening al yishmesh mayim, and I'm davening mamish hoydlash, and mamish davening with such chamimus, mamish having such a slahavas. So that idea hushes the heart. It brings a tremendous warmth, and avad, it creates a big smoke as well, but not a stammer smoke. It makes a beautiful fire and a beautiful smoke that the Maila Oshin all the way, and it's so important to this Oshin. Why is this Oshin very important? So we all know one of the Yonim of the Oshin, the heavy, thick smoke that comes up. Also, it blinds out all the Ketrugim. And the Heilige Mar Hashem says earlier in Parashas Vayichi, he says like this, very important Sachen. When a Yid is being Makar of himself to Avodas Hashem, Tefillah, and Tefillah we know, the Gemara already tells us, Gedoyle Tefillah Yosim Amaisim Toivim, the greatest thing in the world is to be able to daven. Your opportunity is that you can talk to the Eibishter, you can daven to the Eibishter, you can thank the Eibishter, you can be mavakish from the Eibishter. We have to practice. We have to practice. Our davening should be real. Just like when a person gets excited over an Irish Kaiser. You know, for kids you see it, and the older people you see it. People get very excited when a big macher comes to town. Whether it's the Gavir, whether it's the Oisher, it's a big politician, the Kaiser, the guy. Everyone's very excited. People, Mom, we want to get a cash. Imagine that I get to have the person knows that his only real Yeshua is the Eibishter, and I can talk to the Eibishter and have a discussion with the Eibishter and thank him. And I'm not only talking about his Avodas, I'm talking about the Shachris Mincha Ma'ariv, that he has an opportunity to be able to be Shem Be'ach and ask the Eibishter, Shema Kaleinu Hashem Lekeinu Chus Rakim Aleinu. He has a moedik, and this is the greatest thing in the world, greater than anything. And the Heilige Gemara Hashem says, especially in our generation, the most important way of purifying one's essence and real Amunah and real Devekis is through the Tefillah, because the Heilige Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh came down and he brought to the world Tefillah. He brought to the world Tefillah. What does that mean? Because the Heilige Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh was the first one to spread the Indian of Hisbodidus. Everyone thinks that the first one was Reb Nachman. Reb Nachman was Yarshin, it's from the Heilige Baal Shem Tov already. Everyone knows before the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh's father passed away, Baal Shem Tov was a young child, and his father told him, he said, Srulchke, he said, I'm passing away. And he had already lost his mother, because his mother was born after, died at the birth of the Baal Shem Tov, right after the Baal Shem Tov was born. He said, now you're going to be the Siyasam, father, mother. If there's anything you need, ever, just ask from the Eibishter. And shortly later, his father was Nifta. And Baal Shem Tov took that as a tzavah. And Baal Shem Tov was able to be in the Yaris and the forests and the deepest places. Mamash Yisayimala. But he knew one thing. His father taught him the trick. Anything you need, you just ask the Eibishter to explain some shittas. Mamash, and Taki, so the biggest yata d'shmaya. And we zeigen to the biggest darkest. Avada, the Heilige Rebbe Reb Nachman took it, and they don't leave it just for Baal Shem Tov. Make sure that every Yid knows, that whatever person has to really know. That
before that, Hisbodidus wasn't a big thing?
I don't know if it was as practiced. Or maybe they thought it was only for very big people.
It wasn't brought down?
No, Avada was. That was the original Tefillah. The original Tefillah was Hisbodidus. That they were masakin shach chamayev. That was the time of the day. But the original, the tefillah that we have was the Anshe Knesset Agdola put it together. Yeah. Before that tefillah was, you just spoke your heart out to the Eibishter.
So they learned that in Shal Emes. We learned Hisbodidus.
Avadis, was the Rebbe said that I'm not coming to bring new things, old things.
The Rebbe's father was also Eliezer.
Also, he's from Eliezer, that's it. You have big achrayis, so we got to be a god ladar. I don't know, no other choice.
He's in his own already.
He is, yeah. But Matthias says this was the avodah mitius of tefillah. Of here we're talking about Batsim, what I'm talking about now is even we're getting to the Shachs and Chamayim, but Hisbodidus in itself. That was the Avodas
was also before Anshe.
Of course, don't tell him that was all Hisbodidus. It tells us from that really every Yid has to be able to make their own Avad, yeah, meaning Davar Melech Tillim is but meaning if a person mamish trains himself, yeah, look, the Muslim was able to make a lakut tefillas, yeah, more nice. You see, tzaddik made tefillas, yeah, the Rav made all sefer tefillas. People that are always misboided. The tzaddikim that always was boided. So when the mail comes to them such chedushim and tefillah, it's mamish, it's a bechina of Tillim. It's not. Tillim is from the Ksuvim. But the Matthias
how did you do that?
No, the Yid is always talking to the Eibishter.
Everyone can have their own diary of
No, no, all the
Tehillim
tefillahs that they
diary.
ask. A person can write beautiful tefillahs.
I'm allowed to say psukim just.
Listen, these tzaddikim that are putting psukim inside, they know the Yehuda. But if a person just talks to the Eibishter, and Mamush cries his heart out to the Eibishter, and comes up with a beautiful tefillah, there's nothing wrong with that tefillah. You can say it over again 100 times. Why not? Fine, listen,
I can't say Shem Hashem without a pasuk.
The same thing, I'm not talking about Shem Hashem, I'm talking about tefillahs that don't have the Shem Hashem.
English, you can start.
But tefillahs. You know how many tefillahs you can have?
Yeah.
All day and all night. It can be a smile to the Eibishter. And be zoichet to write the most awesomest tefillahs in the world. Because the Yid has to daven, and part of the singing is, davening is our essence. A Yid essence is tefillah. Tefillah is a vadeli with a Torah. We're not making this more than the Kuda is. The Rebbe said that the Yid has to daven, learn and daven, because tefillah, what Shem already brought down, that's the ikka way. The Torah, the more Torah a person has, the better he can daven. That means that the whole the Torah, the more a person's oisik in Torah is mizdakich himself with Torah, the more kavana a person could have in his tefillah. The more a person could have kavana in his tefillah, because his head's not going to fly to Mars, because he's zoichet to mishpat Hashem yisharim samcha. Right, the person's zoichet that his head becomes clean through the Torah. But then I have more koich. They say about certain tzaddikim. Right, the Rebbe says that it's very hard to be mechavan and feel more than 4 hours, because the head, we're not malachim of bnei adam. The head can after 4 hours. It's hard to be mechavan.
No, but cook then a few 9 hours.
Yeah, the tzaddikim, the more Torah they knew, they were able to mamish focus, because their heads are. That's right. That their heads are molam gadish and purity, and that they could mamish stay focused. But so therefore,
It's also a lot of tzaddikim that do shmonesra in 1 minute. My uncle time of the Kalina,
yeah.
1.5
minutes. Yeah, listen,
It
everyone
says
has.
Mehera in Shemona Esrei. My Zedi is open.
Yeah.
That is also really fast.
Okay, listen, everybody there avoid that. Everybody has to avoid it. Because, there was a story, the Rebbe Rabbunim, the Rebbe Rabbinim. There was one time a story that he was on the way. I remember exactly, he was running from the Shomer after him. I don't remember the exact pratim what was going on. Well, the Maisa, he had to daven, so he put on the film. And 2 minutes later, he took his film off. And people were like, what? 2 minutes? When they came to the makom where he davened, there was a puddle of schwitz in where he had davened. Mamish a puddle. They're like, it could be 2 minutes, from those 2 minutes. As a point to Shavovim, Mamish left a puddle of schwitz. Mamish, that's davening to the highest. So tzaddikim have their cheshbonis, but this is the nekuda.
It's even more special. It took only within 2 minutes. He was already.
I was saying, because that was the nekuda. Mamish, they get the tefillah was the shtapchas alev, and the shtapchas. When the Yid zoichet to daven.
We need to do in 2 hours, they can do in 2 minutes.
Exactly, because there's so much, the purity levels, the heads are so much straighter than ours. But the Nekuda is when the Yid learns that the Iker, his slavis he has to have by davening. And then also a person zoiche from the tefillah to big have a oris ponim kiviyachol imam should feel so mushmak to cry a person's heart out to the Eibishter. And every Hashem already taught that every single ois in the tefillah is mamish. Is mamish the oasis itself in the tefillah on the shamas and the different dargis of godliness and revealing the Eibishter in the world. We have now sung in every word of tefillah. So when a person zoiche mamish to daven geschmack and daven b'slahavas hamitius, so then also what he says over here is when a person, there's certain times that a person can't even. I have no cheshik to daven now, or I can't push myself to daven geschmack. Yeah. But the Heilige Rebbe says in Sicha and Dalin that sometimes when a person's totally not interested in davening, it's like cold. It's coming to daven like mamish. So just like Chas v'Chalil, a person could get angry. Yeah, be more is chamimus in a second. Person, you find somebody took your seat in shul and somebody is using a reiseshvat, something wrong to you. All of a sudden, what's going on? What's this guy doing? All of a sudden, from being all cool, the mamish on fire and anger. Chas v'Chalil. The Zelbazach is in tefillah. A person could mamish all of a sudden through Avodas, through the right preparation. We're talking about a person could mamish just the same way that he goes from 0 to 100 being angry. The Zelbazach, when a person focuses in his tefillah and starts, and he's focusing and he can mamish be misboined and put it in front of the Eibishter. He can bring himself to this massive where a person is going to be burning his heart to the Eibishter. And this chamimus is very important. This burning up to the Eibishter is very important. Why? Because it's libun, it mamish cleans out the heart from all the other things that the heart chas v'chalila can get all worked up in. So the Eibishter will help that the ending of today we should be zoicha to train ourselves to daven with a emes of fire. And if we can't, we just start and we ask Hashem, please Hashem, turn my heart on, turn my soul on, let me connect you bemes. And as you're starting to feel it, maybe by the first word, not, but all of a sudden, eventually, the person is mamish working on connecting to the Eibush, and he's making his boinus, and his mamish focusing on there's nobody else in the world right now, just the Eibush. There's a level that the Rebbe talks about, just me and the Eibush. I'm talking to the Eibush. There's a high level that I even stop thinking about myself. I'm just lost in the B'loi Chalor Tzvah, the Eibush in itself. Even I don't exist anymore. That's the highest level. There's one level that is just me and the Eibush. Right? I'm talking to the Eibush. The whole world doesn't exist. That seems pretty high. Even higher than it is that eventually, even I don't exist. Your mom just got lost completely. Just that everything is the Eibush. The mom is such a... And that Chamimus turns into Gavaldi Goimig afterwards, a Tainug. But I think it is, let us start working our heart to get excited and feel like this. If your heart's warm, Chamimus, Avodah Shabbalei, His Lahavas, it'll kasher everything else that the heart, Chas v'Chalila, might get excited about. It'll start having a pure heart to daven to the Eibush for real. And all our feelings will be accepted on high. Amen.
Amen.